She helped a homeless man fix his phone. Next day, he bought the company she worked for. The rain slammed against the glass of the suburban coffee shop. It was a bleak Monday morning. Mia stood near the entrance, shaking the cold water from her umbrella. At 28, she was a data analyst who knew exactly what it felt like to be pushed to the edge. Her phone buzzed in her pocket, another notification from the hospital billing department. Her mother's surgery was weeks away, and the numbers on the screen were a constant, suffocating reminder of what she couldn't afford. She walked toward the counter, hoping the caffeine would numb the exhaustion. That's when she heard it. Frantic, desperate knocking coming from a dark, hidden corner. In that shadows sat an elderly man hunched over a small table. This was Elias. He didn't look like a titan of industry. He looked like a man who had been defeated by the world. His hands trembled so violently he could barely hold the frayed charging cable he was trying to force into his phone. As he struggled, a memory flashed in Elias's mind like a recurring nightmare. The cold mahogany table, the sharp strike of the gavel, and the security guards escorting him to the curb of his own building. "You're out, Elias," they had told him. He was the founder, now a fugitive in his own empire, left with nothing but the soaked clothes on his back and a single battered smartphone. To the world, that phone was junk. To Elias, it held the only digital access key that could prove the board's fraud and reclaim his life's work. If that phone didn't power up by noon, the takeover would be permanent. The charging port was packed with hardened mud from his nights sleeping on the street. He pushed the cable harder, his movements erratic with panic. "It is broken, old man," a young barista muttered, passing by with a tray. "You cannot stay here if you do not buy anything." Elias looked up, his eyes wide and hollowed by despair. Mia stopped in her tracks. She didn't see a stranger. She saw her late father, the way he used to look when the modern world moved too fast and left him behind. Mia walked over, gently placing her hot coffee on his table. She pulled out the chair across from him. "Excuse me," Mia said softly. "May I take a look at that?" Elias pulled the phone to his chest defensively, his knuckles white. "It has to turn on. I have to make a connection. They are taking everything." "I understand," Mia replied, her voice a steady anchor. She unzipped her bag and pulled out a small, specialized kit she used for field testing hardware. "I work with data systems. I fix things like this all the time." She offered a small, reassuring smile. Slowly, Elias slid the device across the table. Mia held a small flashlight between her teeth. With a tiny anti-static brush and precision tweezers, she began to delicately extract the grit from the port. "Technology moves so fast," Elias murmured, his eyes fixed on her hands. "It does not wait for old men." Mia used a microscopic swab to clean the metal contacts. She clicked his cable into the port with a firm, satisfying snap. A second later, the screen flickered, displaying a bright battery icon. Elias gasped, a single tear tracing a path through the grime on his face. Mia handed the phone back, her voice quiet but firm. "Do not worry, sir. I know technology can feel cold and intimidating, but usually it just takes a little patience to reconnect." The atmosphere inside the Apex corporate tower was suffocating. Every cubicle felt like a glass cage. Mia stepped off the elevator, her heart hammering against her ribs. She was exhausted, but she held her head high, clutching the flash drive that contained her 3-night-long labor of love, the Horizon Restructuring Project. As she passed Sarah's office, Mia stopped. The door was slightly ajar. Inside, she caught a glimpse of Sarah, usually so poised, hunched over her desk, staring with hollow, desperate eyes at a framed photograph of her 2 young children. For a split second, the venom was gone, replaced by a look of sheer, quiet terror. Then, Sarah's phone buzzed. "I told you, I'll figure it out." Sarah hissed into the receiver, her voice trembling with a frantic edge. "Just give me more time. Please, don't talk about the mortgage in front of my kids." She slammed the phone down and caught Mia's reflection in the glass. In an instant, the mask of the cold, ruthless executive snapped back into place. "Mia, my office. Now." Sarah stood in her doorway, her $1,000 suit, a shield that couldn't hide the frantic energy vibrating beneath her skin. She didn't just manage people. She broke them to feel like she still held some thread of control over her own crumbling life. As soon as the door closed, Sarah snatched the flash drive from Mia's hand. She plugged it into her laptop and began scrolling through Mia's innovative data models. "This is adequate," Sarah said, her voice dripping with artificial boredom. "But the formatting is a mess. I'll have to rewrite the entire strategy tonight before the board meeting tomorrow." Mia blinked, stunned. "Rewrite it?" "Sarah, those projections took 70 hours to calculate. They are perfect. They can save our entire division from the layoffs." Sarah stood up, leaning her palms on the mahogany desk. She towered over Mia. "Let's be very clear about how this works, Mia. You are a junior analyst. You are a ghost. Ghosts don't present to billionaires. I do." She smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. "I've already stripped your name from the metadata. Tomorrow the new owners will hear this proposal from my lips. It will be my vision that saves the company." "You're stealing it," Mia whispered, her voice trembling. "That is my work. You know I need the credit for the promotion. I need it for my mother's surgery." Sarah let out a short, cruel laugh, but there was a jagged, desperate note in it. She walked around the desk, stopping just inches from Mia. She reached out and adjusted Mia's collar with a patronizing pat. "Your mother? How touching," Sarah said, her face hardening into a mask of pure survival. "But here's the reality. I have a mortgage on a 5-bedroom house and a reputation to maintain. In this world, Mia, only those willing to do what is necessary survive. You're lucky I even let you keep your desk." She leaned in closer. "If you say one word to the board, I will not